back with the same.
I like my microphone, dude. Hey, I'm gonna have to figure out if I can stop these multicolors. I might like purple rain, purple rain.
Yeah, these boys come in handy right here. We got the thing for about $12.
Hey, Dill, get this bitch knocking.
Welcome to Yard Talk, episode 1 with your boy Kev, aka Happy Dan.
OG Just.
Yes, so we're
OG
coming to
Just.
you from each yard. Maybe be the backyard, maybe the yard behind the walls, maybe the side yard, and it may be what yard, OG?
Woo! The penitentiary. The penitentiary yard.
Oh, boy.
We're gonna touch on those. We're gonna touch on those yards. We definitely gonna touch on those prison yards.
Yes, sir. And give y'all a little, I get you a little rundown on me and OG. I'm a young kid from North Carolina. You know, found my way to South Carolina with my family, and we decided to do this podcast about 3 months ago. We've been struggling with it, you know, for a minute, but now we're here with the first episode. So OG, give them a little something about yourself.
Well, sir, born and raised in the streets of North Charleston.
Chucktown.
Yes, sir. George Legree, PCP for life. Did some time, went to prison 3 times.
Hold on, what that PCP for life mean though?
Huh?
What that PCP for life mean though?
PCP for life?
Yeah.
Port City Pimp.
Okay.
Pimp.
Pimp, y'all. We got a
City
pimp over here. Yes, sir.
That been a yesteryear time.
Okay. Okay, you telling your age now. You telling your age.
I know. Just, you know, when you're 27, what can you do?
Hey.
Man, happy
Can't
day.
stay young,
You
fam.
understand? I've dibbled and dabbled in many things. I've actually. What's the statute of limitation on drugs?
I had to look that up, OG. I don't know what
Okay,
what that statute.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I've actually went to school to be a pharmacist, and I failed in the second semester. I've actually, if you name it, it's in the dictionary. I've probably done it. I got a devil on this shoulder, and I got a devil on this shoulder, and they both wondering what I'm gonna do next. At the same time, I know what I got up here. They're fighting to get in here. So I'm gonna invite you guys in here. Graduated, went to college, realized that there's more to life than just books. Books are someone else's ideas on paper, and they put it on paper, and if the masses feel like it's a great idea, they accept it as truth and fact.
Hold on, OG. That might be a topic right there, so I'm gonna hold you on that one. Now, We're gonna jump into this first topic that we're gonna go talk about what love really is. Okay, there's so many definitions of love from each individual can have their own definition of love. Y'all didn't know my nickname Love. I get in that to later on. But OG, what you think? What love really is to you and your family and the people that you're surrounded by?
Love, evil, and live. or 4-letter words. And you can play with it and pronounce it backwards. Evil, or evil. So the opposite of love would have to be similar to evil. But my definition and my understanding of love, we would have to begin with what it is that you're loving. And in order to love it, you have to actually delve deep into that you're claiming that you love, and you have to evaluate it and break it down where you get a full understanding of it, because you can't love what you don't understand. I understand people on a whole, so I love people. Characters, I don't love. Your character describes you as a person, and if your character is not in accordance or in tune with what my energy or my circle is emanating, I refuse to have you in my circle. So with love, you would have to say, I understand you. Because to understand someone, you're saying that you can't surprise me. There's nothing you can do that can shock me. Therefore, I accept you for who you are, and I understand you. Because the reason we get the diminished relationships is because we go into it with the wrong ideas. Mm-hmm. They go into it with the wrong ideas. Like, and in order to have a successful relationship, you have to know who you are in a relationship with.
But first of all, would you have to love yourself?
That's a given.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't love yourself, then you're going to damage everything you come in contact with. I don't care what it is or who it is. You're going to damage it. So, to understand oneself, you have to dig deep inside yourself and figure out what it is that makes your day a grand day, a very glorious day where you had the most enjoying time with people and alone. And to do that, you have to understand how people operate, and you have to know people. In order to do that, you got to know yourself, because everyone is within you.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people understand that. If you don't love yourself, like you said, there's no way you can love somebody else. You can walk around here and say, hey, I love you, I love you, I love you. But if you don't feel comfortable with what's inside of you, yourself, you ain't gonna make it in this world. Not with the word love.
I tell you what, since you said the word love, let's substitute the word love.
For what?
Understand. Okay. Understand, and say, instead of loving, we're gonna say understanding. Instead of love, we're gonna say understand. Okay, now speak what you're saying and use the word understand instead of love.
But you can also understand other things that would put love together with understand, right?
In order to love it, you have to understand it.
True.
You can't love it if you don't understand it.
Gotcha.
If you can rear a child from birth to the grave, and you know you go to work all day, you absent, that child is basically spending more time alone than they are with the parent. So the more you're there, the more you can impact that child. So now, when that child becomes an adult, that child has something within them that you instilled in them, right? When you get to that point, then you can say that you truly understand your child, because your child's a replica of you because of what you instilled in them growing up.
True.
So now, if your child don't reflect that, then there's no possible way you understand your child. Because your child, you're the first teacher. You're the very first teacher of all your children, mom and dad. and they learn from you. So as they grow, what you teach them, they carry this with them. And that's the foundation of their life, the foundation of what you taught them. And if they don't replicate what it is that you taught them, and you don't see it in their actions, then you know it's not in their thoughts. So now, how can you say I understand my child, your child doing something to surprise you every time they do something?
And how can you say you love your child and just give up on them?
You
Explain that to me. If you're a parent, especially women, I'm talking to the women here now, because us men can be stubborn and not take care of our kids. And a lot of us don't get the opportunity because of the woman.
Right.
But if you have carried this child for 9 months in your stomach, you have this bond with your child, that child is born, I don't care what part of life they're in, you just throw them out there to the wolves. How can you do that? How can a woman not unconditionally understand their child?
Well, that would have to come from the parent, because that child didn't exist without that parent. And if you create anything, you're responsible for your creation.
Oh, yeah.
So if I invented this phone, if I created this phone and put the mechanisms in this phone to make it operate, and I can guarantee the people that you're gonna get what's given to you, the service and everything, they're gonna expect that, right? Now, if I give you a phone, it don't have service, you can't text, your email going to the wrong person, then I made a mistake. It's not the phone's fault. It's my fault. The phone gonna do what I program it to do.
Okay.
And in your children's life, you have a man, woman, and they both come together to create something together. Now, what he teaches, she learns. What she learns, she gives to her, or her, the children. And that's the filtration process of the household, because if daddy do it, it's going to be more aggressive. It's because this is the estrogen, or the testosterone. I'm sorry, it's the testosterone in men to show, and even in the natural order, in the animal kingdom, it show you the male is the aggressor. When it comes to the children, the male is the disciplinary. He's the structure. He's the base, and that child should base their things on what that father is. But in order to receive it, he'll receive it better from his mother because of the filtration. She is the nurturer. She's the one that's gonna make that child feel comforted, and that child gonna look to mommy for that love or that understanding. And from the dad's perspective, that child is looking at it from, for lack of better words, I say, from an industrial side.
Okay.
Because we used to, if you think about it, we used to teach our kids how to change tires, garden, cut grass,
Vocational stuff.
Vocational stuff that men do. And we do that for our boys. And our women take care of our daughters. But the child itself, that child itself, it gets its first understanding from its parents. And when that child shows a reflection of that parent, and that parent was all right and exact, or close to being right and exact in raising the child, then that child is going to produce those fruits that the parents planted in that seed.
So as I just said something about women throwing their kids out to the wolves. The man shall also love his child unconditionally. Understand his child, their children, or however many he may have. Where do you feel that we as men, and I really want to stress this on black men in general, loving their kids being there for their kids, where do you see the black men lost the love for their children?
Never.
Okay.
There's no loss. The only loss is the design that was structured in order for that man and that family to collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Because every man intention when dealing with a particular woman that gave birth to his seed
Mm-hmm.
is to do right by both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here where we go back to the full circle of love, which is understanding. They didn't understand each other, which is why the child got affected.
You're saying the
because
parents. Mm-hmm.
the parents didn't have that understanding with each other, where it went to elevate bickering, elevate fighting, elevate domestic violence, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It caused them to separate. That could be from stress, that could be from lack of employment, that could be from somebody wanting to be promiscuous.
Mm-hmm.
However you want to look at it, those two have the total effect on that one, that child. So if their child, if that mother said, I don't want to deal with my child anymore, that in itself has to be a sickness.
Oh yes.
That's a sickness. Because there's no way you travail 9 months with this baby and give it life, nurture it, and then it get to a point where you say, I don't want to do this anymore. It shows the failure within that parent. It shows the failure within that parent because that parent lacks something that made it neglect that child. We don't come home with owner's manual with babies.
Oh no. And I'm a prime example because I was 19 when I first had my first child, and I had no clue what to do. I wasn't, as a father, I wasn't taught how to be a father for one thing. So of course I failed at many things as far as loving the right way, teaching my kids the right way. But it was a good lesson learned. I'm still not the best father. I'm still not the best dad. I do the best that I can. I do have a happy family. How about yourself, OG, on your children?
My daughter gave me a grandson last year. She's 23. And she's finished school. She's about to finish college. I only got one daughter. I waited till I was 31. I didn't wait it, but that's what happened at the age of 31.
Gotcha.
And from that point, I still didn't have it together. Because me and her mom separated. I still didn't have it together. I wanted to pursue my career in the pharmaceutical business. And
the street one or
the out there. Yeah.
You were trying to chase that bag.
Yeah, looking for it. It wasn't Gucci back then. No.
Yeah, back then we had nobody saying trying to chase a bag.
No, we didn't have bags back then.
Yes,
everything went under the mattress or in the shoebox.
Not like Medea. Reach up under the mattress.
Yeah. That's how we did it, man. But after I went through that process, I realized that was a waste of time. That ain't but two things coming from that. I know it's cliche, but cemetery and prison.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the back side of that story is what you doing in the community. How many people you damaging, and as you damage these people, you're bringing the real estate value down because these people are slumming because they're spending all their money to get this buzz, and it leads to property value going down. Somebody else coming into the neighborhood, buying the property, rebuilding it, and you're out. I mean, we see this process, and it's been going on for years, man.
That goes back to the word love, like we were talking about. You're not loving your neighbor. You're not loving your community if you're putting it back into your community.
We're supposed to be substituting the word love and understanding.
So
well, we let the people do that. Y'all can
Are
do
y'all
that.
understanding what we're
substitute the word love with the word understand, and tell me if it makes a difference. Because there's a key in life.
Mm-hmm.
There's a key in life, and it's 3 words: knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I just be throwing pearls away, you know. I hope somebody
will catch.
This seed, I'm trying to plant this seed in fertile soil.
Mm-hmm.
So, knowledge, nothing exists in your life that doesn't have a definition to it. Knowledge is the foundation, the basis of everything in existence. Your thoughts are words. That's all they are. Your thoughts are only words. Now, how do we get inside your head to know what you're thinking? That's wisdom. That's the manifestation of your knowledge. That's the way you express yourself. Wisdom is the way we know what's going on in your head, right? So, what does the two bring together? The best part, understanding. So now, example, Happy Day.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a thought.
I got to understand it, or
I want you to help me understand.
okay.
If 2 plus 3 is 5,
Mm-hmm.
and 4 plus 1 is 5,
Mm-hmm.
how much is 3 plus 2?
It's 5.
It's 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I get it. You get it?
I don't get it. You help me understand what you just said. Help me understand.
Okay. 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
How much that is together?
Yeah, that's 5.
That's 5.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Okay, so we agree.
Yeah, we agree on that. Mm-hmm.
So that's an understanding that we have because we agree.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else got that same understanding? The thing is,
I hope they did.
you want to reach the best part of a conversation. You don't want to start a conversation just to blabber. Oh, LeBron hit 75 and he had 1,600 rebounds this morning.
I think we know somebody like that.
Definitely do.
Mm.
Definitely do. We definitely do.
That's
But-
stuff.
Your conversation begins with a question. How you doing? Hello. Morning. Those are questions that you should answer. When somebody said, good morning, oh, it is. Yes, it is. And how was yours?
Mm-hmm.
They're not saying good morning for you to repeat good morning. That makes no sense, people. So, when you dealing with understanding, it's like creating this yin and yang that makes a complete circle because we both are in that same understanding. Now apply that to your solar system.
Hold on before you go into the solar system. All right.
I just
So-
jump over everything.
No, you fine. You
Oh,
fine. You
okay.
fine. So, good morning with the good morning. Is that wrong? That's what you're saying. You're saying if I say good morning, OG, you should come back and say, hey, yes, it is a good morning. So it's wrong for you to come back and say good morning to me?
Ask your English and your language arts teacher and see what she said. Now, let me show you why I say that.
That was my favorite subject.
Let me show you why I say that. Because, think about this. It's so routine that we've been doing it for lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Didn't that sound like a question? And what your response was sounded like an answer?
But somebody gonna question you and say, hey, I'm saying good morning too. I can't question you too. I mean,
No,
Mhm.
I ain't saying that. I gotta answer my question. I'll answer your question first before I can ask you a question. This is how dialogue is created.
Mhm.
I ask a question, then you answer, then you respond with your answer. And if you have a question, let's clear up the first one first.
that's being politically correct.
That's right.
We're not politically correct.
Oh, you talking y'all talk?
Yes.
Oh, we up in there. Yeah, we in there. We ain't nothing in y'all politically correct, boy.
Did y'all understand that?
Boy, we bumble clot, boy. We up here. We are come by. Blood shit 3 times, boy. I don't play with you. You romp with me, boy. I don't kill y'all.
We've been touching on love for a minute. We got one more topic we're gonna hit, and it's still around the love and understanding. My bad. Love/understanding.
And he's
What?
He lighting up pretty, man. He light up. They light green. I love colors.
What can we do as black men to move forward in life as a whole to keep this generation, moving in the right direction?
Moving in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you got to know that you do have an enemy. Someone really wants you to fail. Mm-hmm. They want to see you down. They want to see you with nothing. They want to see you begging them.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't the person that you think it is. It ain't the person that you feel like if he wearing that wrong outfit, he country. Or if he got on some fake jazz,
Mm-hmm.
he ain't in the game. He ain't doing it right.
Got on them Jose.
Yeah, he got the wrong colors on.
Yeah.
He ain't on this set or whatever. The thing is, all of those were manufactured to cause separation. Just like religion. Manufactured to... Anyway.
Stay away from that right there.
I love religion.
Not right now. Yeah.
But separation...
That's another topic.
Separation...
That's another topic.
Okay. Separation is how you dominate anything. If you break down a molecule to atoms, it's easier to master it.
Mm-hmm.
The more you break it down, the easier it is to master the ingredients of it. Because now you're getting to the core of it. And it ain't the man that you shooting at, or the man that you come out the house and you see looks a mirror image like you. It ain't him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's struggling and fighting the same fight that you fight. It ain't him. Your real enemy is your ego.
Okay.
And once you destroy your own ego and rebuild yourself as a man, without the images, without the logos, without the cars, haircuts, everything you're doing to impress a woman, that's another subject for another day. You go get a tape up, you walk out there, you fresh to death. But anyway, I'm losing thought right now.
Oh, no, you good.
Get
You
back
good.
right
You
on.
good. You good.
Like I was saying, people, your enemy is yourself. Because you will not hurt or cause harm to anyone that you feel is equal to you. Because equal is balance. Equality is the want for others as you want for yourself. And that balance, you know what balance is? What balance means? Peace.
To move these young black men forward in society, to keep us, in the forefront, come together as a group, because one thing that I know of, that power is in numbers. And that's one thing the black man needs to really understand, that, hey, if we come together, it's a lot of things that we can do, positive to reach our young kids and move them in the right directions. Of course, we have a lot of black doctors, we have a lot of black lawyers, we have a lot of black judges, but it seems to the black community and the young black men is only way we're gonna be successful is to be behind the mic rapping about stuff that we do not have. Most of the rappers that's rapping, they ain't lived that life. Or we're falling behind a ball. We can't be successful unless we shooting basketball like LeBron or the GOAT MJ. Or we playing baseball, we playing football. You know, there's more things in life than just sports for us black men. And I feel like the older men need to come together, grab one of these young black men and guide them. You know, OG, what you think on that?
Man, teacher, can I talk?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The floor is yours.
Sir, I put a post up today on Facebook.
Justice ALLA on Facebook. Instagram, Lloyd J. Allah. Instagram.
But I'm gonna read this post to y'all.
Don't give me a TikTok too. Don't play with it. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Good shot.
Bullet, bullet.
I'm gonna read y'all this post I put up today. If you haven't read my post yet, here it is. And it goes, I'll go first. I know we have an issue with our young men with gun violence. I get it. With respecting boundaries and properties, the competency level is low. Not wanting to work, hustling hope to people needing understanding, making families cry nationally. I know. We're currently working on that. Next agenda. Who's going to be in the village of women that's going to reel in these young princesses and show them the way? Telling them ain't working, it ain't. Not with the majority of the posts I see. If they're advertising their parts for others to see, you may as well sell what your commercial is worth. Put on some clothes. Twerking is old as all I see nowadays is Sprint. Let this sink in. If you're looking at two people bent over and they both have an apple bottom, you go, damn, they thick. Now you've committed yourself to the visual. They both turn and one is a dude. Too late.
Wow.
Just put some wisdom in these young ladies so these young men won't have anything to try to impress. Because that's what we as young men, what we do. We try to impress these females. We go get a haircut, line that thing up. We don't do it for each other.
No.
We put rims on the car. We don't do it for each other. When we go buy the gear, we don't do it to impress our partner. We trying to impress her. So if we aiming to impress her, she needs to be well educated so she can't be impressed. And she can say to herself, that don't impress me. Impress me. Impress me with what you know here that can elevate us as a family, as a community, as a people.
Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
It's 3. And your knowledge will produce your understanding. Because we don't care how you give it to us, which is the wisdom. We don't care how you share it, which is the wisdom. And if you look at the structure of the family, you got man, woman, children, knowledge, wisdom, many different understanding. Sun, moon, many stars. If it's not in order, it's out of order. So if you as a man, as a young man, is willing to accept the responsibility as being a protector, accept that responsibility strongly as being a provider, accept it strongly, because this is what going to secure your understanding with her. And if she's taught the right way and she understand that my body is for any man to look at and be impressed. But I'm not going to let them have that pleasure. I'm going to hide that for one. That way, when the others out there see me, they'll have to approach me for this and not this because they can't see this. So if they're approaching me for this, they'll listen. And if they'll listen, I promise you that young man gonna do what it takes to impress you. Because he's gonna see the woman in you. He's gonna see the virtuality in you. He's gonna see that crown on your head and he's gonna say, I can't bring no games to her. I can't play with her. She gonna shut it down quick. But if she bending over and twerking,
that twerk.
you know, and she got 17 bathing suits in the closet for Instagram and another 30 bathing suits in the closet for TikTok, you gonna lose. That's gonna be a loss.
Gotcha.
So that post is reaching out to our elder women, not elderly, but the elder women, the older women who are not only conscious, but smart enough to lead children. Put in them the right values, even if you don't have them in you. You know what they are.
Yes, sir.
Put them in those kids and try to change this curse that's been put upon us that we know is not there, but we're practicing it. We got to let it go, people. And that will complete the structure and the strongest foundation in your family, in your household, as a man, woman, and child.
He said that post for the women was for the women. Men, I hope you were listening to that too, because you touched on some things. When he said we put on designer stuff for her, we put the rims on the car to impress her. We don't never look at our homie when he dressed and say, hey boy, you sharper than a mother. Why not? Why not look good for your brother? You dressing nice and you have the opportunity to help him dress nice, that goes a long way. The way you present yourself will take you a long way. And as brothers, we need to help each other out. Me and him, two black guys here sitting here, come up with this thought of this podcast, and we ain't knocked each other down yet. Not one time. But we have other black men that may watch this here and talk hella shit about us. Tell us we wrong, we saying the wrong thing, we ain't right on this. Why not build us up? This is something positive we doing. We ain't in the streets.
You will be able to comment, and within the next couple of episodes, we'll be doing live.
Yes,
and we'll
sir.
be taking live calls. You'll be able to give me questions, him questions, input, speak your mind, because it's an open forum. And it's an open forum for understanding. Yard talk is basically what you do at a cookout. You sit down, you wait for the food, and you chop it up. I can chop it up from different aspects of the game. I can chop it up from the aspect of the game of weight, a fiend, a junkie.
I can't do all that now. I can't do all that. I mean, I had my little time with the I ain't gonna say that on air.
Yeah, don't incriminate yourself.
He has more. I wouldn't say he has more knowledge. He's gonna do more speaking on this here. I'm more of the person that's gonna give questions. I'm gonna give my little input, and I'm the one that's probably gonna make him laugh more than he made me laugh, because I'm the one that's the one that cut up all the time. He got some jokes in him too. I didn't mean to interrupt you, my brother.
You good?
But keep on telling them all the knowledge and wisdom that you're gonna bring to them. You know, we're gonna bring to them, and let them know a little more about what's gonna happen.
Boogity boogity boo. I'm the spook by the door. People that grew up with me know me as a crown dubbed knight, major
Big problem.
big problem. But I finally got it together, and I realized that you are not only hurting other people, you're not only hurting people that you tell every day that you love, that you care about them. You're not only hurting them.
That you understand.
And you know you're doing it. That's the understanding. You know you're doing it. But the one person that you're doing it to, that one person you're deceiving is yourself. And convincing yourself is the first job you have to do with a lie. You gotta make yourself believe that others will believe it. When you lying to yourself, when you lie to yourself, how you gonna keep it 100 with somebody else?
You right. You right.
It's impossible to do. But we gonna be able to speak on how, you know, correctional officers are, how the inmates are, what they're eating, how they're treated, what they're sleeping in, where they're working at, what they're getting paid, their crimes, how they were denied due process. Trust me, when I tell you this, if it comes out of my mouth, I can put my word on it. And I'll leave that at that. I'm not going to say anything out of my mouth if it ain't factual or if it's not believable. Believable. Because I can tell you the difference between believing and knowing, but we'll deal with that on another day. Because you cannot believe and know at the same time.
You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. Boy, you know when you talk about, boy, that damn white chair that's been trending, boy, for the last week or so, boy, that thing down in Alabama, God almighty.
That white chair, that white chair infamous now.
What?
It's going to end up at the Smithsonian.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Well,
that
what's-
white chair brought tears to a lot of black people's eyes in their in the living room. Watching TV. Looking
What
at their
about
phone.
the swimmer that we had? I call him Little Crappy. That little crap.
Little Crappy.
That little 16-year-old boy went across that water.
Black-tailed bass.
He planned on doing something that day.
Yeah.
Somebody was gonna get knocked out by him
Yeah.
if it wasn't one of his friends or one of them.
Just his swim alone was enough for him to say, I'm gonna bust somebody in. Y'all got me out here sweating in the water.
And we're not saying that was right.
Huh?
Well,
Man, you know I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. That was dead right. He
no,
did
I'm
what he
saying, like,
was supposed to do.
We're not promoting violence. That's
Huh?
what we're
No,
not
no,
promoting.
no,
Sometimes
no,
in
no.
some situations we do have to defend ourselves. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have defended himself and we shouldn't have come to his aid, which I like that we come to his aid because 9 times out of 10 what we do, we shooting or fighting against each other.
Yeah. But you know, Happy Dan, I'm gonna say this. If I'm on the dock fishing and I got a big one on the line, I'm fighting him, and I see somebody over there just punishing you, about 4 or 5 people just punishing you. Me as an individual, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reel my fish in. I'm gonna make sure my fish are on ice, make sure my fish nice and cool, and I ain't gonna jump across the lake and come here. I got you,
So
bro.
I
got you.
I see what your thought process at about me. F me.
No,
You got to catch the food first. You got to catch the food first. I know somebody if you seen over there getting beat, that you probably would have kept fishing. You probably would you reeled in, put your fish in the doggone on ice, hooked your hook again. You would have baited your hook again and threw out there and kept fishing. But we ain't gonna call it name. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Well,
It's a cold world, people. It's a cold world. It's cold. Hold on a minute. We ain't gonna just run past that like that. That just happened. But no,
it's
I'm
just
gonna
one
go
certain
ahead.
person that he know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, and we probably will eventually keep saying something about him. We'll never say his name, but we know who we talking about.
And I'm gonna quote Cat Williams. My brother Cat said, and I quote, "If you ain't got no hitters, I don't know what you're doing with your life." If you ain't got you a hitter, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Mm.
I got at least 200 hitters.
See, he popular down here in the Chuck. See, I ain't been around here about 11 years.
Yeah, I'm a legend. That should have 2 O's with a G and another O right there. Because
That's
in order to get that title,
that's Ogo, ain't it?
Ogo. You gotta perform a certain act to get those O's.
Well, you might be
And,
telling y'all something. Y'all better listen.
I can tell you that I have, and I got witnesses that I been on that road. I've been down that road. I traveled that route, and I back you. I done back you.
Back here.
Everybody got a cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to climb in. That's a debt everybody got to pay. Some people going early than others, but that's another story.
Mm-hmm.
I got stories for days, man. I've done. Let's do the math. 3, 6, 12, 15. I've done a total of 18 years of my life behind the fence. From juvenile to an adult. A total of 18 years together. So, prison experience, juvenile experience, I'll give you one that I won't go into detail today, but I can tell you the story on another day. I escaped, made it to Florida with another guy, and I was 15. I'll tell you how I got to Florida on another day. But
And
yeah,
that episode gonna be called "Running with OG." So be prepared because he is running.
I've been doing some running.
Well, that's a wrap right here. We getting ready to don't cut it off. We getting ready to probably go get by right.
Yeah, I got 1,008 grams.
He lying. He lying. y'all.
A dewatered liquid.
No,
dewatered liquid.
Not that product.
Oh yeah, that one. No, that one. Yeah.
Hey, but it's been real, man. This Kev.
OG Just in the building, baby.
Peace.
Peace.